Rich and Wibo. Today it's been a long time since Wibo and I have been doing this show. I think it's over a month or so. So to celebrate the special occasion that we're back, we have a two for one.
Twofer.
We have one of our favorite guests, Darlene Battle. We talked about her music. We talked about her art. She's not the only talented one in the family. There's somebody else that's talented, and she's right there. Her name is Arlene. Arlene, welcome to the show. So glad to have you.
All right. She's here. She's happy.
So I'm guessing we already know Darlene is a singer, artist. What do you do in the family? What's your talent?
I'm Arlene, and I'm a singer. I'm a writer.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So do you write music or do you write
event
books?
Coordinator. I write books. I'm a book writer. I'm an author. I'm an event coordinator. Just coordinated an event this week. I am a hair braider. Wow. I'm so many things. Just to name a few. But yeah, we're that family that God has gifted with a lot of things. Yeah.
Just like I only mentioned few of the things that Darlene does. I know she also has many other talents, but right now I want to talk about you because you mentioned that you're a writer. You write books. What kind of books do you write? Fiction, nonfiction, poetry?
So they are nonfiction, and they are about our lives, how we grew up, and telling stories about autobiographies, I should say. Mm-hmm. They're about us and about how we lived and how we overcame a lot of obstacles in life.
All right, well, let's talk about it. So how long ago did you write this book?
So it started in 2013. I started this book in 2013. It started from just a college paper. And one of my teachers was like, this is just too much to be a paper. You have to go further. And then, but my brother-in-law, which is Darlene's late husband, Bill Battle, he's told me for years, you have to write the book. I guess he saw it and he was pushing me and I was backing down from it. But when the teacher said that you have to go further, I knew that it touched into my talent that I needed to release.
So before to interrupt you, before 2013, I have a question for you. Did you have any ambition to write at all before 2013?
So in high school, my high school English teacher, she saw it too. She knew. I was a freshman at Hardin High School, and my English, my grades in English were 11th grade level. So she knew that I had something, but at that time I was busy and into boys and things like that I didn't want to pursue the things that I needed to at that time.
All right. So during that time, in 2013, what changed in you to say, I need to write this story? I know you had the, Darlene's husband and your teacher sort of pushed you in this direction, but when did you finally say to yourself, all right, I need to write this story? Was it because of the people that were pushing you in that direction and said, okay, maybe they're onto something, they know something that I don't know, and I really need to write this story?
Most of it is that they kind of knew something, but also I knew that it was time. God gives you that intuition to let you know that it's time to go in this direction, and you got to kind of move with it at that time when he says go. Yeah.
If you don't mind, well, obviously you're writing about it, so you don't mind talking about it. What is the story? Like, let's talk about some of the struggles, some of the successes, some of the defeats. Let's talk about what makes your story so interesting.
So my story is interesting. We are a family that came from the um, most dangerous projects in Bridgeport. It's called Father Panic
Oh,
Village.
I
So
know
for
it
us
is.
to escape
Been
out
there.
of there within itself, for all five of us to escape with no lives lost to my mom, that's within itself a story to tell. So that's going to be one of my topics that I touch on, and how my mom had to be a woman of prayer in order for all of us to escape.
Mm.
My book will tell all about our growing up, and how we were children that were brought up in church, but church was not a safe place for us. We
Mm.
went through a lot of things within that piece of our life. um, um, so my book will tell that story as well. My book will let people know that no matter where you're from, it's not your start, it's how you finish. It's not what people have planted on you to say that you can't become something, because you can, because our family has been through the most difficult battles, struggles, times that we didn't know how our next meal was going to come, and how God always had a ram in the bush to make sure that we would be okay. Things that people would not want to tell. It's their ugly truths. But
Mm.
I'm not afraid to share mine, because I know that we have overcame them, and we want someone else to know that they can overcome whatever is in their path. As
Mm.
long as they keep moving and they keep believing and they keep pushing, they're going to come out. So that's my story. We have, like I shared before, me and my family, we have a lot of gifts. Our gifts was picked by people, used for their gain. But now, at these latter years, we are now using our gifts for our own family and to become what God wants us to be.
Mm.
Yeah.
well, I definitely
Yeah.
think it's an important story to tell. I have a story because I've never been to Father Panic, but I have a friend who was in a band, and they were driving and their car broke down in Father Panic. They actually changed the name of the band to Father Panic. They said it was the scariest night of their life. That was just, they were stuck
Mm-hmm.
there. So you and Darlene, do you have any
Mm-hmm.
brothers and sisters?
Yeah, we have another sister and two brothers.
Okay, so
They're us.
all of you lived in Father Panic for how long?
Oh, um,
Well, I was born there and I lived there until I was 21.
Wow.
Mm.
Okay,
Wow.
so
Long time.
Yeah.
I,
that's
I was there until I was 18.
wow. I'm sure you have plenty of stories, or a lot of the stories in the book
Mm.
for the
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just can you give our
Yes.
viewers a little teaser of one of the stories that they'd be able to read in there? So one of your most
So
harrowing experiences. I want to hear something that people are going to
one
remember
of
and
my
say, I got to buy this book.
one of my most scariest experiences there was just before my mother decided that we must go. Um, it was in I believe the 90s, and crack had just hit in the late 80s, and the project was infested with drugs and crack, and the apartment that was in, like, kind of, our apartments were joined together. So the apartment next door had a door, and in that door was connected to my bedroom, and they used that apartment was abandoned, so they used it for drugs to smoke crack.
Mhm.
One night they were so high and they were fussing and they were fighting, and they broke that. It was painted shut. It
Mm.
was painted shut. Somebody was so strong enough to break the door, rip it right out from the paint,
Oh my
and they could
God.
look
Wow.
right at me and my son, my oldest son, um, were in the bed sleeping, and they opened the door. right on us. That was my most scariest night. And I didn't have a lot of fear. Growing up there, you could not have fear. I
Yeah.
did not have a lot of fear. People was getting shot in front of our eyes. We could not say nothing. We kept walking like we didn't see it. People were smoking crack and doing all kinds of things. We couldn't say nothing, so we just went on. But that night, when somebody had opened the door to enter into my room with my son, that was the night my mother said, "This is it. We have to get out of here." And do
So
you know, for a week, the door was like that. The door was like that. Because the projects were so bad, you couldn't hardly get anybody to come out to fix things, to do maintenance and all of that. And we had to live like that for a week with the door broke. um, it was a very traumatic thing. But that's just one of the stories there. Other stories, we've seen people get dropped out of the window from the third floor naked because they messed up drug money and things like that. So there's been a lot of things that we have over that I have seen, but we um we survived. We survived. We
yeah.
survived.
Well, as they
Yeah,
say, what does not kill
survived.
me only makes me stronger. So you and Darlene and your brothers and sisters must
Makes
be
me
the
shocked.
strongest people I ever met.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
just
Good.
getting back to that story though. What did you do when that person was in the room? Did you say get out, and did he get scared and he saw you in there and run, or was there a fight? Like how did that story actually end?
So when he opened it and he seen us in there, he kind of shut it back and then went on,
Yeah.
to the other side. But it was still, it was very, oh my goodness, it was very scary. And all I was in was protect mode because my child was there. And I was like, if he comes through that door, we were not only not afraid, but we was taught how to protect ourselves. And
Yeah.
I was like, if he comes any closer, he's dead. That's all I thought. That was my thought. That was it. He's dead. It's over. It's either gonna be me or him, but he's never gonna get to my son. So that's where I was at on that night.
Did you have guns, knives in the house? Anything like what were you using back then to protect yourself?
Oh, I don't know if y'all want to know that, but
Oh, we do.
there was things to protect ourselves. We had to have things to protect ourselves in
Yeah.
those days. Yeah, you just had to. That's how you survived. You
Back
had
in
to
the day.
have things to protect yourself.
So obviously, I mean,
Yeah.
the cops know what a bad area this was, but did they mostly stay out of there because they didn't even want to deal with it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And it would take if something happened, it took them, and they had a substation right in the projects. But if something happened, it would take them hours to get there because they would not come by themselves. So yeah, definitely they tried to avoid it.
Yeah. So you said you lived there until you were 21 years old. Would you finally
Yes.
say, I need to get out of here? Did you go to college, or did you go just say, I need to move out? And
So my mom moved to New Haven, and I moved with her.
Oh, good.
So that's when that's how we got out of there. And unbeknownst to us, we wasn't going to be in um, a dangerous death trap battle, but we were in a dangerous battle in another perspective. We were escaping one part of danger, going into another, which we thought we were going into something better. It turned out to be worse. Um, I wouldn't say worse to the part that it would kill us, but it would probably destroyed anyone else mentally if they weren't strong. Yeah.
What made New Haven worse than Bridgeport?
Mm. I wouldn't say that New Haven was, but the situation that we were entering
Okay.
in were definitely not as great as we thought it was going to be, or um, would have perceived, anyone would have perceived it to be. I should say that.
Well, Darlene, were you still living at the house at this time, or were you already out?
I was already out. I was in New Haven.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So me and my sister next to me, we were in New Haven. And then my mom and my sister, that Arlene, and my brother, they also came to New Haven. Yeah.
is it, I mean, I'm sure it's in the book of what made it worse. Do you want to elaborate here?
So what made it worse was a lot of things that transpired. I don't know if well, I would say that we moved we moved in with a family that we followed as far as Christianity, and we found out that the things that were happening wasn't so Christ-like, I
Okay.
should say.
All right.
Can you give me 1 second, please?
Oh,
I'll be
yeah,
right
no,
back.
please. We'll talk to Darlene.
Yeah.
So, Darlene, I want to say, first of all, until your sister comes back, thanks again for being a three-peat guest. This is your third time on the show. And I want to say, I haven't seen you in a while, but the last time I saw you, you were doing an exhibition at Four Corners, and I heard that went extremely well for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great job.
It did. Yeah, we sold
Great
a
job.
few paintings, and we're still painting and pursuing that, and we're working on a couple of different things. Going to be doing a festival in Great Barrington, so we're excited.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, before you get back to your sister, let's talk about that. Where and when is this festival in Great Barrington?
Oh goodness. I think it's like in the downtown Great Barrington. It's going to be start July 9th through September, to the end of September, I believe. But I am going to be there on the 9th and the 16th. So we're going to do 2 nights and see how that goes. But it's supposed to be a huge event, bands, music, food, the whole thing.
Hey,
So
Darlene, that's the fairground, the old fairground used to have in Great Barrington?
I think so.
Okay, I know it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be, like I said, a really big event, and we're looking forward to it. Going to have a tent set up, and artwork will be out, and have some new pieces. So I'm excited.
Are you going to sing a song or two?
I don't know, maybe. I might. I might.
So Arlene, I want to get back to you for a minute, because you're in New Haven. Things aren't exactly Christ-like with the other family. How long did you stay in New Haven?
So I stayed in New Haven until 2009. 2009. Then I moved to West Haven. Yeah. I stayed in New Haven till 2009. I stayed in with the family that we moved in from 91, I want to say, in the middle of the summer of 91 until 97, in that place where we were. And then in 97, I moved into my I want to say 97 or 98, and I moved into my own place.
Oh, okay.
But still in New Haven.
I guess without getting into details, was this family doing something that was illegal that you can get them arrested for?
Not the whole family, but a person in that family.
Okay. Did he or she ever get arrested or put in jail?
No. That's one reason why it's so important to get this story out, because this situation could be happening at any time to anyone who thinks that they're following Christians and they have their, they think that they're doing the right thing, and that the person is very, you know, is Christ-like, pretending, but it's definitely not.
Yeah.
And some people are afraid to tell what's happening, and then that leaves it open for other people to get hurt. So
Yeah.
this is kind of a book that will try to lead so many people in that situation out of it, and tell them to get free. You need to free yourself. Yeah.
Well, I don't know exactly the story, but I think I know where you're going with this. And I think it's important that you tell the story, because some people probably feel that they're alone and they have nobody to talk to, and they don't know what to say, and they're not sure if they should, they're afraid to say anything. This will give them the power and the strength to say, you know what, I'm not alone. I want to say something and get that person in trouble. So I'm so glad that
Yeah.
you are writing every facet of your life, or some of the darker periods in your life. Let them know that you went through that and you came out even stronger and better.
Yes. Yes. Well, actually, it is well, it's my sisters that went through it. But I guess I'm the one that has to write about it.
Uh,
Have to write about it. Like, we lived through it with them, but they um dealt with it. They were involved in it. So, you know, yeah.
so Darlene, you were involved in this or part of it?
Yes.
Okay. You know what I like to, I mean, I really don't know either of you that well. Darlene, I'm just meeting you for the first time. Darlene, we've had you on the show 3 times. I met you in person several times, but you two have such a great outlook in life. I can just tell. I mean, I know Darlene a little bit better, but you seem the same way. It's like you're just so positive, and I can just feel the positive vibes feeding off of you. So that impresses me, because so many people. I was just listening to a podcast earlier today, and they were talking about that, like how people use their past experience, their child years or whatever, their past experiences as an excuse to either drink alcohol, do drugs, or be a victim. And I love the fact that neither of you are consider yourself a victim. You've been through things, but you're like, no, you know what? Have to move on. And I love the fact that you're using that not only to make yourself stronger, but to help other people too. That's really very impressive and inspirational.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah,
Because
because so many things can happen in your life, and you're right. You can end up being a victim. Also, very jaded, filled with hate, anger, frustration, all of that. But then the situation then has power over you. But you have to get to it. Oh no, it can't be that. I can't let that be defined my life and who I'm going to be, who I am, what I want to do. That won't be it.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did it take a long time for you to get to this point?
It took me. It did. So Bill helped me to grow, to like really deal with it. Sometimes when you're in the situation, you deny it, you minimalize it, you rationalize it, you're scared, you're holding stuff in, all of that. But Bill helped me to let it go, let it out, feel the feelings, and let go of those emotions and move forward. Yeah.
Oh, good. Now,
and for me, I was very angry. I was very angry for a long time. I was an angry little girl. I wanted to protect my sisters, even though I'm younger than them. If I had my way, I would have killed. I had that kind of anger in me that I could have murdered. Um, I always tried to be the protector over them, and I would be the one that say, "No, let's get them." They did this. We need to get them. But they would always, try to keep my head because I was hot-headed and I was
Yeah.
angry and I was everything. I was that one that spoke out and said, this is wrong and we need to, do something and all of this. But um and I carried anger a long time, It
Yeah.
wasn't and for a long time I wouldn't let my children spend the night at, they can't spend the night anywhere. Because all of this was happening because of people that we were trusted into the
Right.
hands of.
Mm.
So it kind of affected our lives in different ways. I would never trust my kids with anyone. I didn't want them, they could never, don't even ask to spend the night anywhere because it would just be a definitely no, straight out. You cannot go. I don't know what goes on behind their closed doors. I only know what happens here. A lot of things played a part in what had happened to my sisters, made me so, and angry with men. Like I cut them no slack. If I seen they even act like they were doing something wrong, I would say, "Oh no, not here. You got the wrong sister." I would say things like that because I'm not playing. Things that kind of stuff. Everybody was kind of put into a box of being the same way, a bad man or a bad, but you once you grow up and you kind of, you learn, and in some cases, all that we were around were men of that caliber. Um,
Mm.
Not good, so we had to really find our way. We had to find our way.
Yeah. I think I'd be more like you, where because if somebody did anything to my family, I usually don't get mad and I very rarely have a temper, but if somebody messes with my family or friends, that's when you're going to see my side of looking like you, where I'd be like, no, let's go get that person. And I wouldn't be able to control that anger. So I definitely know some Darlene. I know it. And a lot of people say that sometimes it takes a stronger person to be more like how Darlene was like, no, calm down, but I just, that anger would be coursing through my veins and I'd want revenge. I wouldn't be able to,
Yeah.
and now what about did your parents actually know what was going on, or were they left in the dark about this?
um so by by the end of everything, my parents did know. They
Yeah.
did know that that by the time of the end of it all, they knew. Yeah, they knew.
Well, they must have. Did they confront him?
Um. So, I don't think so. I think. Uh, how can I say this without? Mm,
Well,
well, so
go ahead.
my mom moved in a house with the lived where we moved when we moved to New Haven was with the person that was involved in it, his family. So she I guess was not in a place that she couldn't really confront him and confront the situation because we were living in their home. We were renting from them. Um,
Oh, man.
to say. And my dad, which you will read in the book, that I kind of blamed him because um him and my mother separated and I felt like he didn't protect us. He didn't look back. He didn't um come to get us, to left her vulnerable to be in the predicament that she had to trust people when it should have been him that should have protected us. So you'll read all of that in the story and how I was angry with him for a long time and it took me years to forgive him because I felt like it was his fault that we went through all these bad things because he didn't come back to get us, to make sure that we
Mm.
was okay. um so you'll read all of that in the book. You'll read about I mean, so many things, so many feelings, so many situations, and how, you know, I felt like we was always taught that if you were born in a marriage with a mother and father, that your life would be good. You were because we were taught the Bible that if you was born out of wedlock, that your life would kind of not go right. It would be bad. But we experienced being born into a marriage with all of us have the same father,
Yeah.
but we experienced the most horrible things because, you know, he he was gone and he didn't come for us. He didn't look back. He didn't, protect us. So we went through things that, you know, and this is where we were, in life. Um, I don't know how else to explain it, but you will read it all in the book. And to me, uh, I know that we didn't go through these things for no reason. We went through them so that we could help someone else overcome and come out and still be okay.
Um,
You know what? Go ahead. No, go ahead, Darlene.
I wanted to say this. In the situation, I will say that I would always keep this outlook. As long as I'm alive, things could change. The other is that, sometimes you're in a situation that you sort of lose yourself. It's like, so in the situation, I felt some of me dying every day. It was like I was just, but I knew that as long as I was alive, I could get through it. As long as I was alive, this situation could change. Like she said, we were raised in church, but it's, but I just had to keep that in mind a lot. And I also, let me say this, as far as my own child as well, for a long time either, I did not really let him go and stay with people. As Bill and I worked together and got and everything, and grew and everything, and I grew and everything, I was able to let him and go and over to a friend's house and spend the night there. But we always made sure we knew who they were, where he was, and that kind of thing. So you live, you learn. You do grow. You learn things not to do, and you learn things to do, and you hopefully, my whole thing was to make sure that that my son knew that he could come to us, that he was safe, that there wasn't anything he couldn't talk to us about. That yes, and if there was an issue, I felt the same, coming at it full force with with everything within me. If it
All right.
came to that, but so I mean, it did it shaped our lives in I guess in a positive way, and we learned things. We learned, like I said, I learned what not to do and what to do.
Yeah. It's just a shame that one person could have so much power. It was like negative acts. And because there's a lot of good people in the church, and unfortunately you hear about the people like that, and they get all the press, and everybody thinks like, oh, everything's like that. It's like, no, unfortunately everything is not like that. But the fact that you're like, he made you and your sister just mistrust everybody, be afraid to let anybody alone with your kids, and be just the fact that he had that much power is sad. I'm just glad, it probably you still have little things like that, but I'm glad that for the most part, you're at a much better place than you were. How old were you at this time when everything was going on?
Me,
Yeah.
I was like 13.
And I'm guessing there's a statute of limitations. So even if I don't know if you change the name for the books, nobody knows exactly who that person is. Like, is there a statute of limitations where nothing can happen to him anymore?
I believe so.
So
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe it's too far for anything to happen to him now. But it's I'm just want someone who may be in that situation now,
yeah,
that they should try their hardest to get free, to keep it from happening to anyone else.
Well, I'm sure
Mhm.
Darlene wasn't the only one. So if that happened to her, I'm sure it happened to other kids, and hopefully it's not happening to anybody else from him anymore. But yeah, if somebody reads that, as I mentioned earlier, I said such a great thing you are doing this and letting people know that there's somebody out there. You can't talk to somebody. You're not alone. And it's just sad that people actually have to go through that. But it's funny. I just read I like punk music. There's a singer. His name is John Joseph of Cro-Mags. And when he was little, he and his brothers got put into the foster care because his father took off, beat his mother. Actually, he's a product of rape. What happened was his mother left his father. He came back, raped her, got pregnant, had him. It happened one more time. He had another brother because of that. He didn't find this out till later, but he got sent to foster homes because they caught his brother outside running around in the middle of the winter with no clothes on. So the DCF came and said, we're taking the kids away. The foster homes, he was being molested by the brothers, and the family, they didn't feed them, they didn't bathe them. And this was back in the 70s, and I guess the laws were a lot less strict. And when he tried to report it to his school, the school brought the parents in. The parents said, oh, just, he's exaggerating this and that. And the teacher let him go. And then he got beat. I mean, they used to he was talking about like taking Oreo cookies, taking the white part, just spitting onto a piece of bread. And that was his lunch. They used to have to sneak down to the gas station so they can like wash up in the sink down there. So but he's going on and on. The reason I'm bringing this up was because he said exactly what you said. He said, everything that he went through, he would never change a thing because it made him who he is, and it made him so much stronger. And he's using this now. Now he's a motivational speaker. He's an author. He wrote a book called PMA, The Positive Mental Attitude.
Right.
Great book. And so he's been doing a lot of that. And I just finished reading that book recently, and it was all about the different things he went through. And it was the same thing. He goes, when everybody asked me, what would I change? He goes, I really wouldn't change anything because that made me who I am, which I'm sure whatever happened, you would not want to go through, but it sort of made you, your character. You sort of developed your character and the person that you are.
oh yeah, it made, I tell you, it made me know that anything is possible, that you can come through anything. You just have to not let it take all of you. Don't let it take all of you.
Yeah.
It could eat away at you, but you can't let it take all of you.
Yeah.
If it takes all of you, then it's bad. But if you can keep enough of yourself, and keep enough hope that I'm going to get through it, or enough determination, or enough anger, whatever it is that helps you get through it, that you could come out of it. But then once you're out of it, yes, you have to deal with it. And what I mean by that, you have to acknowledge, okay, this is what happened, and remove the denials from it. remove the minimalization of it. This rocked my life. It happened to me. This is what happened. Yes, I was angry about it. I was scared. I was sad. I was everything. All of that. Acknowledge all of that. Because what it is you want to be able to release those emotions, those feelings, so that you can move on, so that you could go forward. And then take from that, okay, but I'm here, and I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to do the very best I can with the rest of my life. I'm going to, whatever, things that you learn not to do there, oh yeah, absolutely use them. No, I'm not going to do that. No, I won't be in that situation. No, I can't go there. I have to go here. I have to move into the positive direction. I have to do those things that are good for me and realize that you are valuable, because in that situation, sometimes you don't feel it. You do not feel like, sometimes it's like, oh my God. But you got to realize, yes, you are valuable. You are worth it. You can get through it. You're stronger than you think. It's okay. It's okay. Get up. It's okay. It's all right. You can move forward. You can be okay. Yeah, all of that. Yeah, you do. It was interesting. In this situation, we had a young person who tried to take his life, and at that time, that person, when I went to talk to him, I said, you will never know how many people may have considered taking their lives, but you can't do that. It's not worth that, because as long as you're alive, this situation can change. It could be different. It could be, you could come out on top. You could overcome it. So like I said, I always kept that in mind, and you have to just go forward. You have to. Yeah. And I will not tell you that it's easy going forward, because no. Yeah. Sometimes it is really, sometimes it's gonna take everything you got,
right,
to go forward, to move on. But you have to, and it's not for them, it's for you. You have to get to the point that it is about me. Yes, it is about you. It is about what you want for your life. It's about who you can be, what you can become. Yes, it is definitely about you.
Yeah.
And
right.
so and I really do. I really want to encourage anyone that is listening or going through it. Yes, it's about you. Yes, you can come through this. Yes, you could be okay. Yes, you can. Don't you dare give up. Don't you dare quit.
Yeah.
Don't you dare let go.
No, exactly. And unfortunately, I hear stories, and I actually have known people that not that, but more getting beat up by their boyfriend or husband. And unfortunately, what you mentioned was the confidence and the self-esteem. They didn't have that, and they actually felt that they deserved that. I said, you don't deserve that. You don't. That's just you didn't bring this on yourself. This guy is a lunatic, and they couldn't get it through their head. And they kept, unfortunately, some of the people I know and other people that I've read about, they keep going through the same abusive relationship after relationship, because they feel like they can't do any better. They don't deserve any better. And I'm so glad that you realize that you have a self-confidence, and you are worth it. You have self-worth.
Yeah. You deserve better. Like you said, you didn't bring that on yourself. Come on, you deserve better. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
You should have better. Of course it should be better. Yes. But you do have to, like I said, sometimes it's going to take all the strength that you have, because in those cases of those physical abuse, they beat you down so, and you're scared in so many ways. It does. It's like it takes every ounce of strength you got to get away. And sometimes I say this a lot. Sometimes you simply have to flee. You have to save yourself, because you could be around people and you're not really talking or telling them anything, and they thinking everything's okay, and you're just, sometimes you have to go. Just grab yourself, the babes, whatever you got, and just go. And just walk away and start it all over. Start your life all over. Start over. Yeah.
I've actually heard people say, it's like, oh, then I have to start all over. It's like, good, you should start all over.
You should.
Yes.
You don't deserve
Yes.
this. So would you rather have 30 more years of misery or start fresh and have a brand new life? But unfortunately, besides, not even with say molestation or beating, even people are just unhappy. They're so afraid of change or so afraid of something of the unknown that they're willing to stay in a relationship that's either abusive or unhappy. And it's unfortunately, I think more people are like the maze, and not with the extreme like we're talking about right now, but I know people that are just so unhappy, but they're like, oh, at least I have somebody. It's like, no. I would never ever be with somebody. I love doing things by myself. I am very independent. I always tell my fiance, I don't really need to be with you. I love being with you, and take that as a compliment, because I don't need you. I love being with you, and that's why we're together. So I know so many people are like, oh, I just hate being alone. It's like, no, I actually enjoy my alone time. So you have to love you have to love yourself and
everybody.
Be good with yourself. And unfortunately, there's I don't know. I can't say there's a lot of people that are like that, but I see that more and more.
It's interesting that you say that, because sometimes, I could go into this a little deeper, but you're afraid to be by yourself. But understand, it's okay.
Yes,
it's okay to be by yourself. It's okay. You gotta learn to love yourself, hon. I'm fine by myself. It's okay.
Yeah.
You gonna be fine by yourself. You'll realize all the things that you could do and accomplish, and and what you can make over here, do over there. Yes, you will be fine by yourself.
Been there.
It's funny. My fiance, her name is Sarah. She'll take off for a week.
I have to laugh.
No, but I was gonna add on to that, because it's funny, because my fiance's name is Sarah, and she'll take off because her mother lives in Maine. She's helping her out and do things, and then she'll say, "Did you even miss me?" I'm like, "Oh, when did you leave?" She always gets mad. I said, "I'm just kidding," but I am so busy and I have so many things going on. I said, you don't have to worry about me. I'm never bored. I have too many things going on, which I actually love, because I love being busy and I have so many different interests. But I've always been, when I was little, maybe I talked about this with you, Darlene, in one of the podcasts. I mentioned like how shy I was, but so I was always alone, but I just always keep myself busy. Now I'm much more of an extrovert, but I still love going down to my little dungeon down here.
Yeah.
Podcasts ready, reading books, writing books.
You're right.
So there's a lot of things to do.
It is. And like I said, and you will find out what you have in you. You will discover stuff about yourself. You will reignite some of the things that you thought you wanted to do. Yes, it's okay. You're gonna be fine. I always say this too, and you want to work on you, get you ready, enjoy being with yourself, and all the rest will come.
Exactly. So Arlene, do you have this mentality?
I have to laugh because me, I do better by myself. Then when I'm with someone, I do better by myself. I get more accomplished alone than I do when I have partner. So
I have to make sure Sarah's not watching this, but so do I.
I'm watching TV.
I'm gonna make sure I fast forward to this part. But
Yes.
I actually know what you mean because when you're in a relationship, which is good if it's going well, there's also responsibilities with that, and
Exactly.
she wants to spend time with you, she wants to do things, but then like when I'm alone, I'm like, all right, I can get this done. Like you said, I get so much more accomplished.
Yes.
Just when she goes on vacation or visit her mother for a week, I'll be like, yeah, I got 5 interviews ready. I got two short stories written. I got, I did this, and they're like, wow. So,
Exactly.
I'm laughing with you.
True.
Make sure you keep Mrs. Wibo away from this.
Yes.
I'm on TV.
No, you don't want to see this interview. Oh, man. So it's so great talking to you too. So Darlene, were you the only one in the family that had something happen to you?
No.
So it's another brother or sister, and
Mm-hmm.
just kills me.
Mm-hmm.
And when you were at the time, you were the only family that was living in the house, right?
No.
There
were others. Mm-hmm.
Do you know if they had anything that happened to them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it just kills me if people can get away with that. It just because obviously, like I said before, whoever was in the house at that time when it happened wasn't the only one, and it was probably not before or after. It was probably things that happened afterwards, and obviously the more he did, the more he thought he could get away with it because he was never getting in trouble. So probably gave him even more power.
And the pattern was he targeted young girl or young or women who had low self-esteem, was shy, had been through
didn't have a male figure in their life to protect them.
Yeah.
So kind of targeted on that. He knew he could get away with it because it wasn't a male figure around that could protect them. And the women, they had, they were very shy, and they had self-esteem issues.
Yeah.
And men that do those type of things, that's their target. They like, oh, I see that one. That one is, they don't think too good about themselves. So I'm just gonna, make my way in to do things. But my book has a lot of things, not only discussing about, the situation that happened, but it discusses about different type of things that went on in our life that probably wouldn't have went on in a household of normal people per se.
No.
So but what is normal nowadays? I don't know.
Exactly.
But it probably would, yeah. But here it is. My book is called A Painful Purpose. A Painful Purpose. And sometimes your purpose is not lovely, your purpose, you'll have pain, but you'll get to it. So this is it here, and it will be coming to a city near you guys, you all soon. And I hope that it blesses someone and it helps someone to free themselves from any type of obstacle that they may have. It talks about me being pregnant at a teenager and being a single mom and a lot of things. So I just want to encourage somebody that no matter what it is, what the situation is, that you as long, like Darlene said, as long as you're alive, you can change your situation.
Yes.
It talks about dealing with depression, going through a divorce, feeling like a failure as a wife. It talks about so many different things. I would I just want to encourage everybody in any area of their life that no matter what it is, how many times you fall, you better get back up. You have to get back up.
True.
Someone's depending on you to get back up. So me, I have my children depending on me to get back up every time I made a stumble, every time I got knocked down. They were looking to me to get back up. So I had to. And so I want to let someone know that no matter what it is, you have to get back up and you have to keep going. So that's what I wanted to share tonight. I also want to share that my family, their gifts, and hopefully that they will be able to let you know about them. My son is a personal stylist. My daughter makes bead bracelets. She sells bracelets. My sister is a cooking fanatic. All these things. My other son is very computer savvy. Different things that has our gifts that are coming alive in this season. So we would like to just let everyone know about the cherries. We are in a city near you.
T-Town.
We are coming, we are coming to make it happen for you in 2022.
You are quite, I have to say, you are quite the saleswoman.
Yeah.
You know what?
Watch out.
I always say, it's like, you know what? Marketing is a whole other animal, and you are the master of it. You know exactly how to get somebody like, here's the book, buy it or die. Like, no, this book will change your life.
Yeah.
So I'm going to buy 4 copies just because I'm afraid that. I'm going to buy 4 copies just because I'm afraid you're going to come after me. No. Do you have a publisher for this book?
So I am going to go through Amazon.
Yes.
Publishing. So it will, like I said, it will be in cities near you very soon. We are pushing to make this happen, and we just are excited to get the news to the world about, things that have happened, but we are still here. They haven't broke us. We are alive. We are moving, and we are still well. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear that. Now, Darlene, did you help write this book?
No. What she did, this was her.
Oh,
and I said to her, okay, you write it. And I said I would be prepared to answer, questions, but you write it. This was her vision, her mission, her ambition, her goal. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, I can say, and Wibo knows this because this is how I first met Wibo. I did a book using KDP, Amazon Publishing. I love it. And it's so funny because not too long ago, I thought my banking got hacked into because I looked at it and I saw Amazon for $5.99. I'm like, what's this? I called up and like, that's a credit. I said, oh, somebody must have bought a book. I thought it was a charge. I said, oh no, that's a royalty.
Yeah, all right, Rich, you the man.
Yeah.
But I did. You know what? I can probably help you do this because I'm not. Well, yeah, things are pretty much back to normal. I did all of this before COVID. I'm so glad it happened. But I did a book signing at Barnes & Noble, the one in West Hartford in Blueback Square. And at the time, they said it was the biggest local author book signing. And that led to the Torrington Library where Wibo saw me. And then I did another one at the Morris Library. So I can get you in touch with these people if you're interested once this comes out, because I think it's, as I said so many times, people, well, you said it better than anybody. People need to read this book and people are going to want to read this book. I think that having a book signing, just because now, what I love too, I prefer the in-person, but I did one that was online, and I'm actually glad I did because it went from a book signing to a book reading. But all the people that saw me in the area were able to see me online. So I have friends in Tennessee, California, other places that were too far for them. So the online actually worked too. So I'm a huge fan of Zoom. I love Zoom. That's like the only good thing that came out of the pandemic for me.
It's true.
But so I mean, there's so many, and I think that you know what I think this book would be good too, is if you, and even Darlene, have talks at schools and things like this, and just let kids know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you plan on doing things like that?
I'm planning on wherever it takes me that I'm going, so that I can make sure that children know that they can come out, they can be safe, and no matter, if they can't find any help anywhere else, they got two sisters that are there will listen to their story and help them fight out of whatever situation they're in. Yeah. So wherever it takes me, that's where I'm going. Whatever door, that's where we're going in. We're going in snatching people out of bad situations.
Watch out.
Did you have, I know Darlene was all for this. Did you have anybody else in the family that did not want you to write this book?
I'm not sure that my family would want me to tell our personal secrets, but I'm hoping that they understand that that we have to do this because it's gonna save some lives.
So they don't even know about it yet? They don't know about the book yet?
Well, they know that I wrote the book, but they don't know how deep it goes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, the only reason I'm laughing. All right, so far, Wibo's wife cannot watch this interview. My fiance cannot watch this interview, and neither can your families.
That's it.
Well, it's too late. I sent them the link so that I'm sure that they're watching. I'm sure that they're watching.
Hello, everybody. Well, you know what? Maybe if you give them a signed copy of the book, they'll feel better.
Oh yeah.
I hope so.
You know what you should do is
so.
you can come out with the book and have Darlene do the artwork for the cover.
Yeah.
Yes.
Darlene Bell.
Yes, she is. Yep, she is gonna design the cover for me.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
All right, I like this. It's a real family
right.
affair here. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, it's so great talking to both of you, and Darlene, it's great talking to you again. Before we leave, though, do you have anything you want besides the book? So I know we talked about in the very beginning, like how you like to sing, cook, braiding hair. Is there anything that, Arlene, we'll start with you, anything that you want to promote that's coming up besides the book? And where can people find you? When the book does come out, where can people, do you have a Facebook page that people can look at, or a website?
So, yes, I have a Facebook page called Arlene Magloire. And I would like to promote my event coordinator business. You should look me up. As I stated, in 4 weeks, I pulled my daughter's school dance off. Got all the vendors, great food. And if you have $2,500 for your event, I am the woman that you want to go to. A $2,500 budget will get you a phenomenal event done. As far as my book, you definitely want to get my book. It will definitely let you know that you can come out of any situation that you have encountered, because we have been through some encounters. I definitely want to promote my son, Tyshawn Jones. He is a personal fashion stylist, and he will get you right for any event that you have. My daughter, that she makes bracelets. They are phenomenal. Any festival that you see us at, you definitely want to support her. I'm shouting her out tonight. I'm definitely shouting out my sister, Christine. She will, if you ever need a dinner, you would like to look her up. She is the one that you need to go to. You know what I'm saying? She's the woman for that job. My brother, James, he's a DJ. He's the one for the job. I'm letting you know that our family got you covered. in all areas. My
Ooh.
grandson is an entertainer. He's 7 years old. He'll grab the mic and he'll get you right.
Watch out.
My granddaughter is a hairstylist. My granddaughter is a hairstylist. She's a makeup artist. You definitely want to check us out. We got you all covered in every area. So I'm just shouting out everybody in my family. We are ready. In 2022, you will see us on the come up. Don't be mad. Just ride along with us and we'll pull you up with us. We'll pull you up by the strings. To my sister, Darlene, which is the oldest that started this event, started this battle, the artist, the singer, the entrepreneur, got one of the smartest kids on this side of Jordan. We just love her to death. She has pulled us up by the strings, which she has been doing since we were younger. She was our oldest sister. Her and my oldest brother really, truly is the ones that raised us. So we have to pay homage to them on tonight. So all I can say is come and check us out. Let us help you. We're here to serve you in any way that we possibly can, in a positive way, with no hidden agendas.
Nope, I love that. And I want to talk to you once that gets published, and then I will get you in touch with the people that you can do book signings with, because there's the libraries are great, but Barnes and Nobles, I think they're going to start doing that again too. That's good. We mentioned, I know a former guest was at Howard's bookstores. We'll talk about that off the air, but I have some other places that I think would be even better for you. But as you mentioned before, anywhere that you can get the word out is a good place to have a book signing or reading. So, and if I had $2,500, I'd hire you to be my PR person, because I love what you have to say. You can help me get my podcast channel off the ground.
Yeah, cash, right?
I know. $2,500. Can you tell everybody to watch this channel?
Well, $25 is just for my event coordinating business. It's really not. $2,500 pays for the vendors, but my cost is $300 to get you where you need to go. So, you know, if you need me, I'm here.
Call me.
I let Wibo borrow my wallet for a little while, so just talk to him.
Talk to me. I'll take care. I got it covered.
Actually, now that we're being completely honest, I didn't let him borrow the wallet. He just took it.
And kept running.
And Darlene, I know that your sister pretty much said everything that you do and where she can find you. Is there anything that you want to add to this conversation about where you're going to be? I know we mentioned Great Barrington.
Yes. So we're going to be in Great Barrington. We did what I call a yard sale. So we had a art sale in my yard a couple of weeks ago, and it was good. It was interesting. Got to meet some new people. You know, sold a couple of paintings. You know, had my niece's bracelets there. Sold some of them. So we're going to, you know, continue to push. We're like I said, we're going to do the Great Barrington, then we're going to see the next step, but we're definitely going to be, you know, doing art and getting art out there. We're, like she said, we're going to do music. We're going to push our family forward. Like she said, we're here for you. Come on. We 2022, we decided that we're going to give it everything we got.
All right.
for this year, and go forward and do our best, live our best life, you know, reach out and touch everyone we can.
So many hands.
and do what we can. Yeah, we really are.
Well, you know what? I mention this every time I see you. My favorite contribution of yours is writing the local artist show theme song.
Yeah.
Oh yes, the local artist. Yeah,
yes.
It's the only place to go. Yep.
Zip. Hey,
Yep. Oh, where you?
my baby, my baby.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Absolutely. I
Well,
mean that, and I'm a little nervous right now because I have the words, but it's like I haven't sung it in a bit, so it's like, oops. But yeah, oh, absolutely. But come where you can go. The local artist show is the only place to go. Yep. Sears and we and Will Bowles. Come on. Yep. Right there. Yeah.
I love it. Well, anyway, once again, it was Arlene, Darlene. I'm sure that both of you are going to be on the show. Arlene, we're going to have you come back on when the book is released. We'll have to promote the hell out of it. Not that you're going to need any help promoting it, but
No.
I'm more than happy to.
She got that covered.
I know. Wibo, before we go, do you have anything you want to add?
What I tell you, boy, it's so much talent in your family, man. Boy, like Darlene with the painting, she came a long way. People surprised. People see me and they say, well, see, Wibo, I ain't know Darlene done this. I ain't know Darlene done that. You know, they were shocked.
Darlene, I do have to say this though, really quickly, because Wibo, he does it quietly, but he is one of the best promoters. I'll get these texts. Darlene just sold 13 paintings yesterday. Darlene just did this. Like every guest we have, will tell you, Amy just did this comedy show, like whatever it is that somebody's doing. He is. You know what, Wibo? I'm so appreciative to have you, not only as a friend, but you are so great at you're promoting other talent. I hate these people that are so, like, their egos are so bruised if somebody else is being successful. You actually promote other people, and that is a huge thing, because so many people I know are so fragile they can't talk about other people because unless they're doing well. And
because I enjoy it, because they say I met quite a few professional people.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, you got to be yourself.
Yeah.
Be yourself. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Absolutely.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
And I used to say the same thing when I was doing comedy. People would say, "Oh, I can't believe he got, how did he get the show? I didn't." I said, "He didn't get the last spot. Don't worry about him. Why don't you just try to get this another spot yourself?" And just everybody's so worried about somebody else doing well that they didn't even concentrate.
Yeah.
I personally never worry about anybody else but myself, meaning that, like, I don't care what anybody else is doing. This is what I like to do. This is what I'm doing it. And I'm going to do it the best I can do. I don't care what anybody else around me is doing.
And
that's right.
And I am very, just like Wibo and just like you two, I'm very supportive of other people. But as I said, I just love people be like, 11 o'clock at night, Darlene just sold another painting.
Doing my job. Doing my job. 24/7. 24/7.
Right.
We should change the name of the show to Where's Wibo, because every once in a while I get like a picture of him in this undisclosed location. Like, where are you?
Oh yes, he gets around.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do.
Oh yeah, he been moving. He really does. And I will say this too about him. He promotes the show, because he kept saying to me, you should come on. You really should come on the show. You really, you'll like it. Come on, let's, and it has been a wonderful experience. I've enjoyed being on the show. Anytime, definitely will come back. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
And I'm excited for you guys. Actually,
Cheers.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because it's a great thing.
It is. Oh.
Because there are, a lot of talented people in Torrington, but also all around, and they, just need an opportunity to just say, I'm out here, I'm doing this, come see, come be a part of, and let us do this together. Let us grow. Let us, change the town, the city, the world. We could do it. All of us.
We're going to do it.
Yes.
We're going to do it.
Going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love. I'm sure, as you know, I do 2 different shows. For the show that I do, I get my own guests. But with this show, Wibo gets all the guests, and I love it because I have met so many interesting and talented people. And every time Wibo's like, I got another guest, I'm like, all right, just have them send something over so I have an idea what to talk about. And what's great about you two, I didn't really have anything prepared because I already knew that we'd be talking. Like I didn't have any worries at all of that we'd find nothing to talk about. There'd be something, and I was right.
Oh yeah.
Like almost an hour and a half later, I didn't even have one note written. So I'm so glad that I know Darlene probably knows this. I met Wibo when I was promoting my book. He was doing a talk show on public access TV, and then I was a guest for City Views, and then so I was on there, and then we should do a show called Local Artists. I guess he did something at WAPJ before me, and then we've been doing it ever since, and it's going on for like about a year now, I think. Like this show, So,
okay, yeah.
Yep.
All right, but yeah, no, I'm excited. I just see, just so much.
There is
from it, yeah.
There's so much, like we mentioned in one of the shows when we first started. I said I love, everybody knows the people that already made it, but there's so much hidden talent, especially in this area as you mentioned, and that's the people that we want to expose and give them the coverage and give them the limelight because when they're up and coming, sometimes they have the more interesting stories. And I like to see how people got to where they are instead of like seeing where they already were. So watching them, and I've seen, like I said, over the last year, I don't know how many guests we've had. And it's just like we went to, what's that author? We just went to his book signing at Howard's. What's his name?
You talking about John Noki?
No.
You're talking about J.L. Booth.
Yeah. Yes. And he writes actually he has a really interesting story too, but he writes more fiction, but he has a really story that sort of he had a lot of problems that he dealt with and he's overcoming now too. But it's I love having people like that on the show and letting them tell their story. So thank you, Arlene. Thank you, Darlene.
Thank you, guys.
Wibo, it's always great to see you.
Always.
That wraps up the latest episode of Local Artist Show with Rich and Wibo. I want to thank my guest, Arlene, and once again, the three-peater, Darlene Battle, for coming on the show and telling their story. Please buy their book when it comes out. And buy Darlene's paintings. Go on to her, what do you have, a website or do you have a Facebook page where people can find out where you're going to be?
No, I just have my email, actually.
Okay. Well, do you want to give people your email right now so people can contact you and find out where you're going to be?
Yeah, dbattle99@yahoo.com.
Perfect. And we'd also like to thank the extremely talented John Bristol of Elmwood Productions for always doing a superb job editing this program, making it available each and every week. Lastly, but definitely not least, Wibo and I need to thank you for always tuning in. Enjoy your day, everyone.
From the frenetic mind of author Rich Sear. 5 terrifying short stories, now available in one collection. Confessions of a Frenetic Mind. 5 tales of blood-curdling terror, available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
All of a sudden I hear, brim, brim. What's a diaphragm again? Ha! We caught one.
They're supposed to be weird.
Oh, yeah, no. If you say so.
I've always wanted to be in a movie.
Waiting around for autumn, waiting around for autumn.